No one is coming to save you. That's the hard truth. As uncomfortable as it may sound, the sooner you accept it, the sooner your life will start to change. There's no magical moment coming where someone will swoop in, rescue you from your pain, your mediocrity, your financial struggle, or your emotional confusion. The world isn't built like that. It rewards action. It rewards those who stand up, stare reality in the face, and say, "I'll do it myself." And if you want to become the kind of person who commands respect, who becomes attractive, not just physically but energetically, then you have to kill the victim mentality. Because weakness never attracts real power. It repels it. Every second you waste waiting for someone to validate you, to see you, to help you, you're giving your power away. You're basically announcing to the universe, "I'm not ready yet, I'm not capable yet, I need permission." And that attitude is the root of failure. Understand this clearly. Nobody is waking up thinking about how to make your dreams come true. They're thinking about their own. That's how the world works. Harsh, maybe, but it's also liberating because it means your rise is in your hands. You don't have to wait for anyone. You have to become your own hero. And that starts by standing up when you don't feel like it. By showing up for yourself every single day, regardless of how tired, discouraged, or alone you feel. That's where real character is built. In the silence, in the dark hours, when nobody's clapping for you. When you keep going anyway, because deep down, you know nobody's coming. You are it. You are the one. If you're waiting for someone to find you attractive, to fall in love with your potential, to see how special you are, forget it. Nobody respects words. They respect results. Become undeniable, and you won't have to convince anyone of
your worth.
Get in the gym. Get on your hustle. Fix your routine. Master your thoughts, sharpen your presence, because when you level up, everything around you changes. People start treating you differently, not because they've changed, but because you have. You've raised your standards. And trust me, people can feel that. There's a reason people are drawn to the ones who don't beg for attention, the ones who don't chase but lead. It's not arrogance, it's confidence born from self-respect. You respect yourself when you take responsibility for everything in your life. Not just the wins, but the failures too. When you stop blaming others, when you stop making excuses, when you stop sitting in self-pity, that's when you take your power back. And power is attractive, not the fake kind that comes from pretending, but the real kind that comes from owning your life completely. You've got to understand that this world is brutal to the weak. That's not to say you should never feel down. Never cry, never be human, but you don't stay there. You don't wallow. You don't look for someone to carry you. You carry yourself. Because strength is forged through fire. You earn your resilience. You build your mental toughness. And when you walk with that energy, people can't help but notice. They see you differently. Not because you're loud, but because your presence speaks for itself. It says, "I'm not waiting, I'm building." Stop scrolling through your phone, looking at people who have it all, and thinking you're unlucky. You're not unlucky, you're undisciplined. You're distracted, you're passive, and all of that is fixable, but only if you decide to get up and fix it. That's the price. No one's giving you a shortcut. You have to earn your respect. And in that process, in that lonely grind, you stop chasing people's attention, and you start attracting it. That's when the real shift happens. When you stop seeking and start becoming. When you become so focused on building yourself that you don't even notice who's watching. And ironically, that's when people start paying attention. Because real attraction doesn't come from trying. It comes from being. When you become someone who wakes up early, who trains, who thinks deeply, who moves with purpose, you don't need to chase. You've already become the magnet. And make no mistake, the person you want isn't attracted to desperation. They're attracted to strength, to clarity, to direction. They want to align with someone who knows where they're going. Not someone who's stuck hoping that love or luck will fix their life. Be the person who doesn't need saving. Be the person who saves themselves. Because when you show you can do that, you show others that you're not just capable, you're unshakable. Think about it. When you look at the people you admire, are they sitting around hoping someone helps them? No, they're making moves. They're doing the work. They're disciplined. They're focused. They're relentless. And that energy, that's what draws people in. That's what makes someone stop and say there's something different about them. It's not a mystery, it's mastery of the self, of the mind, of time. So if you want to be your own hero, if you want to become someone others respect, are drawn to, and can't ignore, you start now. You stop whining, you stop waiting, you stop waiting, and you build your mind. You do it even when no one's cheering, especially then, because that's when you prove to yourself what you're made of. And once you do that, once you rise from your own ashes, you'll never go back. You'll walk different, talk different, think different, and the people who once overlooked you, they'll wonder how they missed it, how they missed the fire that was always inside you. But it won't matter, because by then, you'll have stopped caring who notices. You'll be too busy conquering. No one is coming to save you. That's the truth. But it's also your greatest advantage, because it means you don't have to wait. You don't need permission. You just need to start. Get up, move, become, be your own hero. Traction isn't something you chase, it's something you become. And it begins the moment you master yourself. The minute you take control over your emotions, your habits, your energy, and your daily actions, you stop being invisible. You start commanding the room without even trying. That's what real attraction looks like. It's not about smooth talk or fake charm. It's about being disciplined, being sharp, being focused. When people see someone who's in control of themselves, who operates with precision and confidence, they can't help but take notice. Self-mastery is magnetic. You see, most people are ruled by impulses. They sleep too much, eat too much, scroll endlessly, complain constantly, and wonder why nothing in their life changes. But when someone breaks out of that, when someone chooses discipline over comfort, it sends a shockwave into the room. Suddenly people pay attention. Why? Because it's rare, because it's powerful, because it shows that you have something most people don't control, and control equals power. The person you're trying to impress, the one you think about constantly, they're not going to be drawn to your potential. They're going to be drawn to your performance. They want to see that you don't just dream, you execute. They want to feel that when they're around you, they're stepping into certainty, into direction, into clarity. And the only way you get that is by mastering yourself first. Start with your body, your energy, your posture. All of that communicates long before your mouth does. You can say all the right things, but if your body tells a different story, one of laziness, confusion, insecurity, it cancels out everything. Discipline starts in the dark, in the silence, when nobody's watching, when you show up to the gym while others sleep, when you eat clean while others binge, when you read while others numb out. That's where your edge is formed. That's where attraction is forged. Don't underestimate how loud your habits speak. You can wear the right clothes, post the right photos, but if your eyes are tired from staying up too late, if your energy is off from poor discipline, people will feel it. They may not say it, but they'll sense it. The most attractive people aren't always the most beautiful. They're the ones who radiate order, stability, and strength. That comes from self-mastery. That's the difference between someone who turns heads for a moment and someone who leaves an impression for a lifetime. When you master yourself, you stop seeking approval. You're not walking into the room hoping someone validates you. You're walking in knowing what you bring. And that confidence, it's not arrogance, it's alignment. When your actions match your intentions, when your habits match your words, you move differently. You speak with weight. You walk with purpose. You become someone who doesn't need to chase, because you've built a life worth attracting people into. People feel safe around discipline. They feel inspired by it, because deep down, everyone knows they're capable of more, but few act on it. When someone sees you in control of your life, it challenges them. It forces them to look at their own standards. And if the connection is real, it inspires them to rise, not retreat. That's when you know someone is truly attracted to you, not because you entertained them, but because you activated something in them. That's how you separate yourself from the noise. That's how you stop being just another option. Because in a world full of distractions, someone who's focused is rare. Someone who doesn't break under pressure. Someone who doesn't seek permission. That's the kind of presence that lingers in people's minds. That's the kind of energy that people remember. And you don't get that from shortcuts. You earn it every day. You have to train yourself to do what most won't. Wake up early, show up on time, speak clearly, keep your word, push through when it gets boring. Because self-mastery isn't about hype, it's about consistency. It's about doing the things you said you'd do, long after the feeling that motivated you has faded. And once you live like that, you don't need to wonder if someone is attracted to you. You'll see it in their eyes. You'll hear it in the way they speak to you. Respect always comes before desire. This is what most people don't understand. Attraction built on chaos fades quickly, but attraction built on discipline, on trust, on clarity, on respect, that lasts, that grows, that leads to something real. And it all starts with how you lead yourself. Don't expect someone to follow you if you can't even lead yourself. Don't expect someone to want to build with you if your foundation is unstable. Be your own proof. Be your own reason. Be your own validation. When you make your life better, not for anyone else, but because you hold yourself to a higher standard, you become the example. You become the standard. And suddenly you're not asking for attention. You're filtering it. You're not hoping they'll like you. You're asking, do they match where I'm going? That's real power. That's what it means to live with purpose. So the next time you find yourself thinking about whether someone finds you attractive, flip the question. Ask yourself, am I living in a way that makes me proud? Am I showing up with intensity, with discipline, with clarity? Because the truth is, people aren't attracted to potential. They're attracted to progress, not perfection, but motion. Forward energy, unshakable focus. That's what separates a crush from a connection. That's what elevates desire into admiration. If you want to be irresistible, stop trying to impress and start improving. Build your body, build your mind, build your skills, keep your promises, move like a person with purpose, think like a warrior, act like a leader, and speak like someone who knows their value. That's when the shift happens. That's when attraction becomes effortless. Not because you're trying, but because you've become someone they can't ignore. Self-mastery isn't the path most people choose. It's demanding, it's relentless, but it's worth it. Because when you master yourself, you own you control the room. You attract not just attention, but respect, loyalty, and real connection. So start today. Own your time. Own your habit. That's where attraction really begins. Real attraction is not just about chemistry, glances, or fleeting emotions. It's built on a foundation far deeper, respect. And if you've ever wondered whether someone is truly drawn to you, don't watch how much they compliment your looks, or how often they text. Watch how they treat your time. Watch how they respond to your values, how they honor your boundaries, how they handle your silence, and how they react to your standards. Because respect is the truest sign of meaningful attraction. And the truth is, anyone can be fascinated by your beauty or your charisma, but only someone who truly sees you will respect your energy and what you stand for. In today's world, people confuse attention with value. They think just because someone gives them time, or reacts to a story, or replies to a message, it means something real is happening. But that's noise. That's easy. What's not easy is consistently honoring someone's worth, especially when it requires patience, integrity, and sacrifice. Real attraction will always lead to honor, not control, not manipulation, not possessiveness. The kind where they understand that you're not here to be consumed, but to be connected with, that you're not desperate for approval, but demanding of mutual elevation. Look at how someone treats your time. Do they cancel and reschedule without care? Do they make excuses for why they can't show up? Or do they protect your time like it matters, like you matter? Because someone who is truly attracted to you won't disrespect your calendar, your plans, or they will recognize that what you give your time to is what you value. And if they truly value you, they'll want to align with that. They won't try to dominate your schedule just to feel important. Instead, they'll fit into your mission, and they'll help you protect it, not distract you from it. And what about your values? Someone who's genuinely drawn to you will respect what you stand for, even if they don't always agree. They won't try to change your beliefs or force you into compromise just to make you more convenient. In fact, they'll be drawn to the clarity of your convictions. Why? Because values communicate identity, and identity rooted in integrity is one of the most attractive things a person can witness. It signals strength. It signals self-awareness. It says, this is who I am, and I won't break that for temporary comfort. And here's the thing, when someone is truly attracted to who you are, not just your image, they'll respect even the parts of you they don't fully understand yet. Your spiritual boundaries, your emotional needs, your vision for your future. They won't try to reshape you, they'll try to support you. Because real attraction is never threatened by depth. It's drawn to it. It seeks it. It's not insecure when you say no to something. It's not shaken when you take space to think. If anything, it respects that you know what you want and what you won't tolerate. You can test this quickly. Set a boundary. Say no. Delay a response. Prioritize your work. Watch how they respond. Someone who's only attracted to your attention will grow distant. Someone who's only attracted to what you give them will become. But someone who's truly attracted to your essence, your discipline, and your values, they won't run. They'll respect it. They'll stay. And not only stay, they'll match it. They'll rise to your standard, not ask you to lower it. Also, look at how they support you. Do they cheer you on when you are focused, or do they guilt trip you for not texting enough? Do they inspire you to push harder, or do they pull you into comfort zones that make you shrink? You'll know someone is truly attracted to you when they don't just like your ambition, but when they contribute to it. They'll give you space to grow. They'll challenge you to stay on track, and they'll never make you choose between them and your purpose. So many people get stuck in situations where They're loved for their potential, but not respected for their principles. They're appreciated for their energy, but not supported in their discipline. And that always ends in frustration. Why? Because attraction without respect is just attention, and attention without honor is hollow. It feels good for a while, but it leaves you empty. You are not here to impress people. You are here to align, to connect with those who see the fire in you, and refuse to let it dim. People who admire your intensity, not feed. People who match your not mock it. People who respect your silence, your standards, your boundaries, and still stay. That is real attraction. And that is rare. Understand this, when someone truly respects you, they will protect you from yourself. They'll remind you to stay disciplined. They'll encourage you when you're slipping. They won't feed your ego. They'll fuel you. They won't flatter your weaknesses. They'll hold you to your greatness. And if someone does that, they're not just attracted to you, they're invested in your evolution. The best part, when respect is mutual, attraction deepens. It becomes something spiritual. It's no longer about surface or timing. It's about growth, contribution, and legacy. And those relationships, they're built to last. They withstand pressure. They evolve, because they're not based on desire, they're based on honor. So if you're wondering whether someone is really attracted to you, ask this: do they make me more of myself, or less? Do they celebrate my vision, or distract me from it? Do they want to walk with me, or do they just want access to my energy? Do they respond to my boundaries, with patience, or with pressure? Because someone who truly respects you will treat your life as sacred ground. They won't walk on it with dirty shoes. And most importantly, ask yourself if you respect yourself enough to walk away from anything less than that. Because you teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. If you allow disrespect disguised as romance, attention disguised as love, flattery disguised as commitment, you'll never experience the kind of attraction that transforms. You'll only cycle through imitation, not connection. But when you decide that respect is non-negotiable, when you embody it, live it, demand it, everything changes. Your energy sharpens, your standards rise, and only the ones who are truly aligned with your will remain. That's not loss, that's alignment. Real attraction starts when you stop settling for attention and start standing on respect. When you raise the bar, the right people will rise with it. Every single time. There's something incredibly powerful about a person who doesn't quit. A person who doesn't crumble under pressure. Who doesn't fold when life gets hard. Who doesn't make excuses when everything seems stacked against them. That kind of energy is magnetic. It doesn't matter what someone looks like, what car they drive, or how many followers they have. When someone sees you getting up every day and fighting for your goals, they feel it. They don't just see your effort, they respect it. And if they're truly attracted to you, your relentless drive becomes one of the core reasons why. Attraction rooted in admiration is the strongest kind. It's not shallow, it's not temporary, it's not based on fleeting feelings or surface level charm. It's grounded in something deeper, witnessing the kind of strength that most people only talk about but never live. When someone watches you push through difficulty, when they see that you're not waiting around for life to hand you things, but instead you're grinding, learning, evolving, and showing up, that moves something inside of them. It inspires them. Because deep down, every human being is drawn to resilience. It's built into us. We may admire beauty, but we follow strength. Now this kind of attraction doesn't always look like butterflies or constant compliments. Sometimes it's silent. They're watching how you respond when you get bad news, how you act when no one's clapping for you, how you keep going even when the rewards are delayed. That's where real interest begins. Because while others are looking for entertainment, they're looking for alignment. They're drawn to your character, your resilience, your refusal to settle. When someone is truly attracted to you, your drive becomes contagious. Your focus inspires theirs. Your discipline challenges their complacency. It's not about being proof. It's about being in motion. You become the living proof that struggle can be transformed into success, that pain can birth power. And for someone who's serious about their own growth, that's the most beautiful thing they can witness. It's not just that you're motivated, it's that you don't break. And in that they begin to see not only your value, but their future in your presence. Think about this. We live in a world full of shortcuts. Everyone wants instant gratification, fast success, and overnight results. So when you're someone who commits to the long game, who grinds in silence, and lets results do the talking, you instantly stand out. And the kind of person you want to attract, the one who values substance over spectacle, they will notice. Not because you told them, but because your consistency speaks louder than any words could. And it's in the struggle where that admiration deepens. When they see you fail but not give up. When they see you cry but not collapse. when they see you cry, but not collapse, when they see you tired but still showing up. That's when it becomes clear that you're not just talk, you're built for this. You don't ask for pity, you ask for progress. You don't chase people, you chase purpose. And nothing is more attractive than purpose, because it creates a gravitational pull that's impossible to ignore. When you're on your grind, you're not just becoming a better version of yourself, you're sending out a frequency, a signal. It says, I'm not available for average, I'm building something real, I'm moving with intention, and the right people with vision, with integrity, with drive, they hear that frequency, they feel it, and they want to be around it. Not to drain it, but to match it. That's the difference between being wanted and being respected, between being desired and being chosen. Someone who's attracted to your drive isn't just in love with your presence, they're inspired by your direction. They're not threatened by your ambition, they're empowered by it. They don't try to slow you down. They want to run alongside you, because they understand that you're not just building a life, you're building a legacy. This is why it's so important to never shrink yourself to be more liked, never slow down to be more accessible, never play small just to seem relatable. If your pace makes people uncomfortable, they're not meant to walk with you. If your standards intimidate them, they're not meant to grow with you. The one who's truly attracted to you will not just keep up, they'll contribute, they'll sharpen you, they'll protect your focus, not pull you from it. They'll honor your discipline, not distract you from it. And here's the truth, not everyone will admire your drive. Some people will mock it, some will misunderstand it, some will even try to sabotage it, because your dedication reminds them of their own laziness. Your movement exposes their stagnancy. Your fire makes their excuses look ridiculous. But let them talk, let them stay stuck. You keep building, because while they're watching, the right ones are noticing. The ones who are inspired by growth, the ones who are built for more, the ones who will see your rise and recognize that you're not just someone to date, you're someone to build with. The most powerful relationships are built on aligned values, mutual respect, and shared mission. When someone sees your grind and chooses to act, not interrupt it, that's when attraction becomes partnership. That's when admiration turns into loyalty. That's when connection becomes destiny. So don't ever feel the need to hide your ambition. Don't dim your fire to make others comfortable. Let them see the long nights, the early mornings, the sacrifices, the focus. Let them see the real you, because the one who's truly attracted to you won't just watch your journey, they'll want to be a part of it. They'll admire your strength, match your energy, and protect your vision like it's their own. Your relentless drive isn't just about achieving your goals, it's about attracting what aligns with your purpose. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't settle, and therefore never attracts people who do. Keep going, keep grinding, because someone out there is praying for a person like you, someone who doesn't break, doesn't quit, and doesn't settle. And when they find you, it won't be your looks or your style that draws them in, it'll be your fire, your discipline, your direction. That's what they'll respect, that's what they'll admire, and that's what they'll fall for.